thought he was going to go men's soccer. I had something prepared.
The rest of the league had this year for them. They started the tournament as the 4 seed.
You have one job, Zach.
Really? Asking P about me?
We need to assign numbers to our Zachs. We really do. So that when they're all here, we just
So
give them a
many of
number.
them. He's no Jabril Peppers. I mean,
I don't think so.
No, definitely not.
You guys good? We're good, Eric. Are you? Yes.
piece of cake.
I'm kind of scared right now.
I'm just gonna
Like raw, but gnaw.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Between the Lines. I'm Harrison Lone, sitting next to Sam Swem and Stephen Kipp over on the other end. So what do we got to start?
We're going to do a little recap of women's and men's soccer. They ended their seasons over the weekend. Let's just talk a little bit about them. Sam, you want to hit us off talking about women's soccer?
Well, the women's soccer team made it to the conference championship game this past weekend against Hope. They played a great game and overall had a great season. A lot of great production from some key players and some players that they might not have thought were going to have a big season stepped up.
So the women's soccer team started off as the 4 seed in this year's tournament. They played a lot better than that coming down the stretch, so it's no surprise that they went ahead and tied and then eventually beat Kalamazoo in the first round. They had already tied them within the last couple weeks before the tournament. And then Hope was going to be a huge challenge either way because of the star power they have with Elizabeth Perkins. I already mentioned her before the last time they played each other. You were hoping for a Cinderella story, but in the second round against a team like Hope, it's kind of hard to see it happening.
I think preseason they were projected to finish 5th. They finished 4th in the regular season and then made it to the conference championship game in the tournament. So they outperformed some people's expectations. So
Really good year for women's and also for men's. They ended their season as well on Saturday in a pretty tough loss, but there are some things to be proud of. They had their first tournament home win, or
first home tournament game since 1999. I think.
And it was a win
Yep.
too against Adrian in a really good game. You want to talk about maybe some takeaways from the season from being on the team?
Yeah, so every year has kind of been a stepping stone, getting better each season. This year we won, I think, 2 more games than we did last season. We finished 2nd in the regular season. Last year finished 3rd. So just continuing to progress, taking steps to hopefully reach the goal of actually winning a conference title next year.
Of course, Kyle Kansman got first team All-MIAA. Yeah, he just had an incredible season. I don't know too many defensive players that score 4 times in one season. The second team ended up with 5 more Scots: Nick Straight in goal, Austin Gabri, Sam Filardo, Lucas Faust, and Noah Canless. Lucas Faust, for those that don't know, he ended up having to play with staples in his head for the rest of the tournament after an incident in the locker room prior to the Adrian game. This whole team, everybody that got an award deserved it, and also there were guys on the team that could have gotten it, but because of the flood of Calvin in the awards every year, some of them don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Football played Trine on Saturday with a 41-33 win. Do you guys have any takeaways from that game?
I know at one point they were down 23-0, right? So to be able to make a comeback down 23-0 is pretty phenomenal, and they held on to their lead late with a pick 6 to finish the game, I believe. And then Dylan Zaborowski was MIAA Offensive Player of the Week, so great job to the football team.
To finish without either of your captains at the end of the year really says a lot about the rest of the team. Sullivan being gone, we ended up with 2 100-yard rushers without him.
Wow.
Grant Wilson and Caleb Reinhart both had 100 yards and some change on about 13 to 15 carries each. Our offensive line is definitely maturing, definitely getting better. And we can expect a lot more from them for next week against Adrian.
Football's last game of the season is this Saturday against Adrian at home. It's also senior day. Adrian's been a pretty middle-of-the-road team this season. What do you think we have to expect out of the game on Saturday?
Well, hopefully for Saturday, being senior day, Sully, Nick Sullivan, and Justin Thalen both do end up getting the opportunity to play one last time. Other than those two, I'm hoping to see more out of Dustin Tripp. He had 2 sacks against Trine, and he can definitely continue to put up some decent numbers so that he can set himself up for a very, very good senior season.
Yeah, this will be the first full football game that I've gotten to go to, so I'm really excited to watch that. And you mentioned that the offensive line seems to be putting it together, so that's one thing that I'm going to be paying attention to, is seeing if that offensive line continues to take that next step and become a full working unit.
I'm looking for the secondary to try to hold up, even without, like, whether Justin's there or not. We really need a secondary to hold up to win that game. Now we're going to do a segment called Fact or Fiction, where I'm going to pose some stat lines or topics, and you guys are going to say whether it's going to be fact or fiction. They're all going to be revolving the football game on Saturday, because that's about the only athletic event we have this week. First one of the day is Daniel Hugan, 130 receiving yards against Adrian on Saturday.
Fact. As he said, there's no corner in the MIAA that can cover him.
Except for the one at Hope.
So I think he's going to have a big day.
Okay.
I'm going to say fiction. I think that the ball's been getting spread around a lot more lately. Lars ended up with 120 yards last weekend. But I also think that this game will be more predicated around the run game.
All right, cool. Second one is Troy Game in his last game of the season on senior day, 5 tackles for loss.
I'm going to go fiction. 5 tackles for loss. That's a huge day.
I'm going to also say fiction. 5 tackles for loss, like you said, is a ridiculous day. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. Even though it is fiction, it's a convincing story.
Dylan Zaborowski completing 60% of his passes on Saturday. Fact or fiction, Sam?
Well, since I said Hugan's going to have 130 receiving yards, that means Zaborowski's probably completing quite a bit of passes, so I'll go with fact on that.
I think I'm going to go ahead and say fiction again. 60%. He hit it a couple times this year, but his normal average hovers just a little around 50%. And then also, I mentioned it earlier, the running game is going to be what's going to be the more important aspect for Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the last one of the day is the Scots defense causing 4 turnovers. Fact or fiction?
Fiction. That's kind of like the tackles for loss. 4 turnovers is quite a bit. They could do it. I'd love to see them do it, but I'm going to go with fiction.
I'm going to say fact on this one. The Scots defense manages to get really opportunistic at certain times, and then also Adrian's offense is very young. They make a lot of mistakes here and there, and that's why they're a middle-of-the-road team this season. 4 turnovers is definitely a possibility for Saturday.
For Saturday, I have Adrian winning 31-24.
I'm going to take Alma 35-21.
I'm going to go ahead and say Alma, but it's going to be a real low-scoring game, 20-14.
Okay, now we're going to have some real talk with Coach Johnson. Just to start off, talk a little bit about basketball. Wonder why. Do you have any gauge as to who might be the next girl to step up, or who should we watch out for this season?
What I like, our goal was to add depth to our roster, and I think that we have done that. It's very important with our long season and injuries and the game, to maintain that level of energy too throughout the game. So, I mean, right now, I really, really like this team. Great energy, great attitudes too. I mean, they come in very positive, and they're fun to coach. Very coachable. They want to learn. They want to do well. So, right now, it could be anybody.
So even though you have such a young team, you have 2 very impactful seniors in both Tara and Kenny. What do they bring as your senior leadership that you expect them to give to the rest of the team?
They are providing right now incredible leadership and expectations. Here's what we need to do to be successful, and they're buying, have bought into the program and understand where the coaching staff is coming from, and they're supporting us and translating that message to everybody else. And they're doing it in a very positive manner as well. I mean, they're communicating well with the entire team, and they're passionate. They want to do well. It's their senior year, and they've been through a lot, and the team wants to support them.
You mentioned the message. What message is your coaching staff selling this year?
Our motto is Rise Up, and the I is a 1, actually. So we're
Clever.
20 players, 6 or 5 on the coaching staff, strength and conditioning coaches, athletic trainers, all becoming one team. One mission, one goal, one team. So that's what the 1 stands for. And then Rise Up is, we're going to make mistakes. When challenged, get back up. Rise up and learn from it and keep pushing forward. Yeah, it's funny because we started this, I think it was last year. Coach Hargraves, big tennis fan, and I've known pickleball for a while. My family plays up north all the time. And I said, Sam, we got to go over and play pickleball at the rec center. And so he finally said yes. So we went over there, and we've been hooked ever since. You guys got to play. Have you guys ever played?
I've never even heard of it. I was talking with Zach yesterday, and he was like, you should talk to her about pickleball. And I was like, what the hell is pickleball? I was just like envisioning a pickle.
It's like a shrunken form of tennis,
Yeah, there's like a little
or a
paddle.
large version of ping pong.
I see you voted today. Was it hectic?
Actually, it was kind of exciting. They kicked somebody out.
Did they? Why?
Yeah.
Apparently, you can't wear anything that says Trump or Clinton on it. And this guy walked in with a T-shirt that said, "Make America Great Again," all in red. And they said, you got to leave. Leave and take that shirt off or turn it inside out. You cannot wear that in here.
Probably no propaganda for either. That's
Right.
probably what
Right.
the rule is.
Right. So,
I didn't know that, though.
and he was putting up a big fight. He was like, I can wear this in here. No, you cannot. And so everybody kind of like looked around, and he went around the corner, took the shirt and just turned it inside out and came back in. Oh, after I graduated, actually my college coach, I had 3 coaches in my 4 years here at Alma.
Wow.
But we still won and got to play with incredible teammates, had a blast. And it was Coach Klink, Bill Klink, the legendary Clinker. Love that man. And I had him my last 2 years, my junior and senior year. And he taught me the whys, the whats of the game. Why are we doing this? What are we doing it for? Just really taught you the game. And he was the one that encouraged me to get into coaching. And I had many opportunities after I graduated, either grad assistant at Mankato in Minnesota. My dad wanted me to go into the insurance business with him. And I also had a internship in Ann Arbor for in my field, which was EHS, which is now IPHS. So pulled in many different directions, ended up working with my dad because my boyfriend at the time already had a job in Saginaw. So went that route and then coached high school basketball. And so I was in the financial industry for 20 years. Great job to have, to raise a family. And the more I coached high school and the better the players I had, they were being recruited, so I got kind of a taste of the college realm, so to speak, meeting lots of college coaches, and said, if I ever get that opportunity someday, I'd like to try it. So, and then this job opened up.
All right. This has been Real Talk with Coach Kris Johnson.
Thanks, Coach.
This is Coach Johnson with HyperNaw. Oh, hype. Total hype. Because I play, of course. Very competitive, and it's a great game. You guys have to play. Nah. Naw. Sorry, naw.
Why not?
I don't like coffee. I'm drinking, it's kind of a mix. I'm a mocha person. Naw. I'm not a drone fan. They're kind of annoying when we're up north and we're on the pontoon and one's flying over and they're just like, hey, how you doing? Thanks. Hype. I love snow. If it's going to be cold, we need snow. Oh, hype. It's great. What's the commercial? Great. I have seen them, and I would say gnaw, because I am very motion sickness, and I can see me like throwing up or something after I watch that. Oh, hype. Love Christmas, love all the music. Just 'tis the season. Best. Total hype. I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. It's all hanging out with family, food, don't have to worry about presents and all that stress, just have fun and enjoy each other.
HyperNaw.
It could go both ways, hype and gnaw. It's good for certain things and not good for other things. Oh, hype. I have 2. Golden Retriever and a Great Dane, so they're my buds. This has been HyperNaw. Stay tuned.
So now it's time for Something Else with Coach Kris Johnson. And this week for Something Else, we're going to have her. She gets 5 topics, 2 minutes to try to guess, try to have our panel of judges here guess what 5 things she's drawing. It's kind of like Pictionary, but not really. Okay, the time will start after she starts drawing the first topic. So here is your first topic.
Oh, piece of cake. Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Baseball. Basketball.
Here you go. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Pac-Man. No.
Oh, I know this is bad.
Mustache. Mario.
Muscle.
Coach B.
I need a picture of him.
Strong
Here.
man.
Box.
Campaign.
Trump.
Jack in the Box.
Scotty.
The Monopoly
Thank you.
Man.
Good job.
Who?
That was a bad Scotty.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Man.
All right. I thought it was fun. I was gonna say Justin Timberlake. But, Saturday Night Live.
Sharp.
Prison.
Calendar. Definitely. Scoreboard.
Alma. Football field. Balky
Balky Field.
There you go.
How much time? 1 minute remaining.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
Let's go. 2 more.
Okay. You guys already said this, but
Coach B.
yes.
Yeah, I said that.
You guys already
Pointed
said
at me.
this.
Great drawing.
Ooh, this is a good one.
What's the time?
I know.
30 seconds.
30.
Oh man.
Pressure's on.
Is it going to be Sports Center top 10 when I hit this game winner at the buzzer? Handshake.
Sportsmanship. Hug.
Let me do this.
Mittens.
Boxing.
5.
MMA.
3,
Fighting.
2,
Mittens.
1.
Snowman.
No way. Tenacity. Like toughness.
Tenacity.
Really?
I know,
That's
right?
her word.
How do you draw that?
You can't draw tenacity.
The
Good job to
BTL
you.
crew would like to thank Coach Kris Johnson for coming on today, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.